So it means everything, actually, when it comes down to it. Just personally, the way I like to lead my life. I mean, it's something that we look for. I think we have something called servant leadership. Is almost the concept is the same as common good, putting others before your own personal interest, right? So the servant leadership concept is the
When
same.
I think about leading for the common good, a few transferable skills that allow me to lead for the common good and what I tell students is keep up with a shared vision, have engagement and passion, and then curiosity and eagerness to learn.
So first of all, I want to say I really like this one because it aligns really well with our core mission here at Omron. Our mission is to improve lives and contribute to a better society. So to me, that means that we all drive ourselves toward the same goal and then ensure that we're helping each other so that we can achieve the greater good for all, or in our case, similarly, contribute to a better society.
Because the definition or the phrase is quite complex. It's like, oh, yeah, yeah. So breaking it down to me, it just means leading by example. Anyone can do that. And I encourage the students certainly to think about who it is that they want to work with. And usually it's going to be those individuals that are taking more time, who are positive.
To be a good leader who is like working towards like being effective in like leading a team to work towards, again, like a common goal, commonality, common good, then I think you have to be able to strike a balance between like empathy and like accountability.
Demonstrating your care for others. And I feel like often that also kind of translates into, empowerment.
It can be done at every rung on the ladder, no matter what position. It's just, how do you do that?
There's skills that can be developed in people. And so I think if you don't see those skills in yourself right off the bat, it's not something that's like a red flag necessarily, because, I think it's worth investing in people.
I wanted to give some examples of some things that are paired with these skills. So first, thinking about a shared vision. Something that I tell students all of the time is know your company's mission statement, as well as their values. So at Kohl's, our mission is to inspire and empower families to lead fulfilled lives. Do you have that vision when you're coming on board with the company? In terms of engagement and passion, if you are someone who just did this past summer's internship or you're coming back full time, stay connected with your team. Show what you have done in terms of research on a specific company. Stay invested in your new role. So think about how you can stay engaged and remain passionate about the workplace that you may be entering into. And then for curiosity and eagerness to learn, I think that having this skill allows you to be a good steward of information to pass along to peers or even people on your team when you're joining a new job. So this just brings you kind of back to a shared vision as well.
We have what we call, you know what I mean, like behaviors. So we call it the Merck behaviors. And those behaviors, we want to see that in all of our associates here. We have 6 of them, and 2 of them are almost driven by common good, you can say. Like the first one is obsessed with customers. And then the second one is act as owner. Just because someone is not around, you shouldn't be doing something questionable.
Taking that self-initiative is the biggest thing that all employers are going to be looking for. If you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs and saying, oh, there's nothing for me to do, well, clearly you're not looking close enough. There will always be something for you to do, whether it's, making it so that the front desk is a little bit more appealing, or, just whatever you can do to enhance that environment.
When someone is in a difficult situation, trying to see it from their point of view, from their perspective, and try to do practical things. For example, if it means showing flexibility when it comes down to like start time, right? If someone has a child and daycare is closed, you know what I mean, and they have to take care of their child until 10 o'clock, and their shit starts at 9 o'clock. Being able to have the empathy and the flexibility to say to that person, yeah, it's okay, you can start at 10:30 and then, finish maybe a little bit later, right? So those are the things that I show, or the leaders in this building show, to show common good.
When you're working with a team of people, when you're leading a team of people, you want to be able to be intentional and acknowledge that like that group of people may be coming in with like a lot of different identities, a lot of different experiences, realities, traumas, maybe even, and they may like show up to that space like naming those things, or maybe it will show up to the space kind of like unnamed. And so I think it's important to like be someone who can lead in the way of like empathy in that sense. And then what I mean by accountability is not necessarily in the sense that like your team is doing anything wrong, but I think it's important to like note that as a leader, you should be working towards the growth of the people that you're leading. And so like however that looks for them, I think it's important to know like who they are as people.
From picking up a piece of paper that might be on the floor to making the environment a little bit more user-friendly or more accommodating to, in our particular case, the patients, and safe. How do you make an environment as safe as possible? It shouldn't only be on housekeeping. It should be everyone's responsibility to keep a great positive environment, and then safe as well. But really taking that initiative, what does that look like? It's all different depending upon the type of job that someone would be working. Nurses especially, if you see a CNA that is working their tails off and just not able to handle everything because you have a larger patient load that night, jump in there, help the CNA wherever you can. Certainly you need to be able to do your own work and don't delay doing your own work, but it's a team environment.
I think it's like very transferable. And so, at City Year, we obviously work towards like educational equity. We work in Milwaukee Public Schools, we work with students. And at the same time, like a lot of the people who like our core members is what we call them, they spend a year working for us and then they go on to do like all different sorts of things. And so like coming back to like that transferable aspect of things, we acknowledge that like this is a year where people are coming in to like spend a year of their lives like investing in that educational equity. And so in turn, we want to make sure that we're like spending a year investing in them. And whatever is next for them, be that like grad school, law school, med school.
We leverage technology and automation that supports healthier, more fulfilling lives. So as a leader within our organization, all of the leaders within our organization are focused on empowering our teams, right? So that they can reach their full potential and feel happy and fulfilled in the workplace. So this is something I work on quite a bit within my role right now, is really trying to help the rest of the team understand how they can fulfill their maximum potential.
So then, as leaders in the building, do you have the capacity to show empathy and then show common good and common kindness, and be able to take care of the person first, and then also transition to, of course, we are a business area, right? And then still execute your business.
Why? Because that's who you want to work with. You want to work with people who enhance the workplace environment. Everyone wants to work with someone who, at every rung of the ladder, shows that leadership by example, takes the initiative, looks out for others that are in the workplace. And that's why it's important, is because it's so meaningful and it can take any and every shape possible. And it just has deep impact too.
These skills are important to me because it shows people that you are invested in relationships and want to actively build trust with your business partnerships.
It is very important because actually the business we are in pharmaceutical. It's all about just impacting life with science. It's almost like the whole concept is common good. Is every day we're trying to figure out how we can make humanity better, how we can make people's life better, how we can make actually our planet better.
The world is changing quickly, so if you can stay focused on a true north, such as the greater good or creating a better society, it makes the decisions that you make easier.
Everyone should be looking for a way to help others because at some point in time, it's going to come back to you. When is it that you need someone to help you? And if you've already invested in those other individuals, they will surely jump through hoops to help you.
I feel like you'll have better results when people are feel like their like employees are being invested in.
So at the end of the day, it is just to me, it is just the way I live and the way I work, the way I function, the way I interact with people. So it is just a foundation for everything.